Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. President Trump says the U.S. is in talking with people in Iran, and they want to make a deal. It comes as he paused an initiative to guide ships in the Strait of Hormuz while the U.S. naval blockade remains in full effect. Joining us now live is NTD's White House correspondent Iris Tao. Iris, good afternoon. What's the latest from what you're hearing from the president?
Good afternoon to you as well, Don. So at the White House just moments ago, President Trump revealing that they're now talking with a group of Iranian leaders who do want to make a deal very much. And he also stresses that the U.S. naval blockade in the Strait of Hormuz remains in full effect, calling it like a wall of steel. Watch.
We're dealing with people that want to make a deal very much, and we'll see whether or not they can make a deal that's satisfactory to us. We have it very much under control. The blockade is unbelievable. The Navy's been incredible. The job they did is like a wall of steel. Nobody goes through. In particular, the Iranians, they're not getting anything through one way or the other, so they're out of business. And we'll see whether or not they are agreeing. And if they don't agree, they'll end up agreeing shortly thereafter. So that's the way it is.
And now Tehran says that it has received a U.S. proposal and is now reviewing that proposal. Meanwhile, it comes after President Trump paused Project Freedom, an initiative that he started just 2 days ago to guide ships through the Strait of Hormuz. He says he's pausing it now because there's latest progress in talks with Iran. And just earlier, President Trump taking to Truth Social to post a new progress report about the talks, as well as giving a new warning to Iran, saying that he would end the war and offers safe passage for vessels through the strait if Iran, quote, agrees to give what has been agreed. He also says that if they don't agree, the bombing starts, warning that further U.S. attacks will be at a much higher level and intensity. Meanwhile, the blockade is still effective in that key waterway where 1/5 of the world's oil passes through. Central Command announcing just also moments ago that it has struck an Iranian ship that tried to pass through the Strait of Hormuz and reach an Iranian port just this morning. It says that it fired at the ship after it ignored multiple warnings from the U.S. Navy. Meanwhile, Secretary of State Marco Rubio emphasizing the diplomatic path is what's preferred, but Iran shouldn't test President Trump's resolve. Watch.
It could be one that leads them to reconstruction, to prosperity, and to stability, and to not posing a threat to the world. The alternative is growing isolation, economic collapse, and ultimately total defeat. They really shouldn't test the will of the United States, at least not under President Donald Trump. He has proven time and again that he will back up what he says. And if they test him, ultimately they will lose.
Meanwhile, as President Trump is set to visit China in the coming weeks, the U.S. Trade Representative Jamison Greer said this morning, saying that a topic of discussion includes, for example, China's purchases of Iranian oil, as well as efforts to help Iran evade sanctions. And yesterday at the White House, the Secretary of State telling NTD that human rights issues will also come up. Don.
So, Iris, tell us more about the event itself where the president spoke at today. What's the theme?
Sure. So the